So number 3, what happens if something breaks? Now, did you know that professional movers consider themselves a trade? Like any other trade, this is a tremendous amount of skill. The skill required to drive a vehicle into places not typically meant for tractor trailers, and the skill to pack, load, and unload belongings that are no longer in original packaging, all without breaking. That's a pretty robust set of skills. Now, we have a team of veteran crew and drivers that are some of the best in this business. But that doesn't mean that nothing ever breaks. It does mean that it's a lot less likely, though, than when inexperienced people perform a move like in DIY. But if something does break, we'll be talking about valuation. So if you check out our blog, there's an article about valuation. It is the number one most important decision you need to make when hiring a mover. Now, that article will go into much more depth than what we are going to do here, so check it out when you can on our website. For now, let's review some basics. Valuation is your decision on how liable the moving company will be if something breaks during a move. Unlike many service companies that have more express or implied warranties, moving companies are a regulated business, and this regulation means that we offer the same type of protection that every other mover does, and it's called valuation. Let's break down how it works. Step 1, choose full valuation protection for your belongings or choose to release it. Now, it will be an extra charge if you choose it, but you don't have to buy it. If you don't, you are releasing the valuation. So released valuation, however, does include some modest protection. It provides you about 60 cents per pound of article weight for anything that breaks. But if that doesn't sound like a lot, it's because it's not. Here's an example. A 100-pound TV that breaks would get $60 in claim settlement. This is because you're releasing valuation protection for your move. Now, as a quick note, if you decide not to choose, we must legally opt you into full valuation. We cannot release it without your specific choice to do so. It's that important. Step 2, choose a deductible for full valuation. Now, the deductible goes in front of any claim, similar to how insurance works. Once the deductible is met, the moving company will work with you to repair, replace, or offer a cash settlement for any broken item, in that order. So you'll be able to get any items that broke during your move taken care of quickly by filing a claim. Step 3, be aware of valuation limitations. Now, full valuation is not entirely open-ended. There are 2 main limitations. First are high-value items. Items worth more than $100 per pound of their weight need to be disclosed separately on a high-value items inventory in order to be protected at their total value. Think of expensive antiques or pictures that don't weigh much but have tremendous value. These are candidates to be disclosed, because otherwise, claim settlements for these items would be limited. And this is to ensure clear communication about the value of your items to the mover. I mean, we're not appraisers. Unless you tell us, we won't know. So last, it's essential to know that valuation only covers damage directly related to the services provided by the moving company. So, for an example, if you pack a box and the contents inside are broken without visible damage to the box itself, like if they dropped it, now that's not related to our packing service because you packed yourself. So valuation won't cover that. Or hiding items inside your shipment that are expressly prohibited, like fuel, explosives, or plants. Well, those won't be covered either and can affect coverage on the rest of your belongings. Now, more things can limit valuation, but we recommend you review with your estimator for a complete list, and we've covered the basic ones here. Now, the most common question we get about valuation is, why is it extra? Now, truthfully, whether or not it's considered extra is a matter of perception. The law allows you to release it or waive it, in which case we wouldn't charge you for it. But suppose we didn't do it this way. In that case, we could wrap up valuation as part of the move price and call it included. However, we don't think that's right, and the law says we couldn't do it even if we wanted to. The choice to have valuation or not is entirely up to you. Now, we strongly recommend it, and you should consider it as part of your move cost, but you can waive it if you like. So in that perspective, it's not extra, it's something of which you can opt out. Now, the other common question is, why have valuation at all? If you break something, shouldn't you fix it? Well, the answer is yes, we absolutely will. Unless you tell us not to, by releasing valuation, or to try and work outside the limits of full valuation. And we are very upfront about how valuation works, but in the end, it's going to be up to you and how liable you want us to be. Each customer has different preferences here, but many don't take this seriously enough. If you look at reviews of other moving companies, any moving company, you'll likely find that reviews of customers, they think the moving company is scamming them out of fixing something that broke. Scammers, they yell loudly. And while that might be, in reality, these are likely people who didn't take the time to understand valuation and how it works. Instead, they tried to claim something outside the limits and were denied. We don't want that to happen to you. If you have any questions about protecting your items if they break during the move, review them with your estimator before signing the moving contract.